I see it looks like we're live now, kind of, sort of. Alright, yeah, there we go. For the most part. Welcome everyone. I am trying to look this stuff up and I'll see what we got. Looks like we're doing something new.
I keep getting live stream offline.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody's like, hey, hi, but
This Energy
Well, I
Smart
believe we're
Home is
live
over
now.
2,000
We're
square
good.
feet. 3 bedrooms, 2
Yeah, it
baths.
sure appears that way.
Huge.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try this.
Everything's good. We are live now. Okay, yeah. This is like one of those things where we're like trying something different.
This Energy
And,
Smart
I believe
Home
we're
is
live
over
now.
2,000 square
We're good.
feet. 3
Okay.
bedrooms,
But,
2
yeah,
baths.
it sure appears anyway.
Huge.
Welcome. We should be. Yeah.
Let's try this.
Everything's good. We are working good. I'm Lonnie. Now.
I'm Amber.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by
This
Infinity
Energy
Flux.
Smart Home is over 2,000 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
This is episode number 100
We should
of the Spoiling Dead, and this is the new and improved Spoiling Dead.
I'm Lonnie.
And like Sarah is ultra busy with like a new house and stuff, and hasn't been able to get caught completely up on The Walking Dead. And so, whereas 100 we would like to think that she's going to be a regular part of this season, she's not here tonight. So like it's really taken her a while to get
Sarah is ultra busy.
yeah, she's like getting caught back up and everything. So we are taking chat. Gonna go ahead and knock a few things out of the way. Later in the episode, at the very end,
Part of this season. She's not here tonight.
pull up the actual.
It's really taken her a while to
As you see, our contest box is here with all of those things there.
Go ahead and knock a few things out of the way.
All of our entries.
Later
And
in the episode,
you know what?
very end part of this season.
I wonder if we should like take entries in the chat, like while we're. Is it too late for everybody? Yeah, we're not.
Had how long is
Yeah. Everybody's had like literally almost like all of our entries 2-3 months
And you know
to enter.
what?
So if you haven't entered, yeah, I mean we don't want to like tie up entering new people. But we are going to be doing, you know, we have our monthly great giveaways and stuff. But anyway, we'll talk about The Walking Dead tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. This had some really good parts, but the overall episode, we are going to be really, in my opinion, but anyway, we'll talk about I mean, there were some good parts. There was some, you know, the special effects of like, you know, some of the cars blowing up. Yeah, there were some really good twist scenes, like at the end. So, spoiler alert, this is called Spoiling Dead for a reason. And if you haven't seen the episode or want to later and don't want to be spoiled, this is probably not the place to be right at this moment. Because we're going to be talking like hard spoiler alert. Spoilers.
Yes, go to Lonnie and Amber.
Yes, I do read the comics.
Don't want to be spoiled. This is
I'm in the process right now of getting our. Yeah, because I had it still set to default. Spoilers.
Yes, go to Lonnie and Amber.
Yes, I do read the comics. What is that?
Cherry pepper.
Process right now. I knew it was different. It wasn't Dr. Pepper. I knew that right away. Yeah, because I had it still set to default. Hold on. I'm trying to get legacy tokens working because we're doing double legacy tokens tonight. What is that? And as soon as I can get the legacy tokens working, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, because I had it still set.
Well, there, we should be good now.
I'm trying to get legacy tokens working.
But in true UNN
double
fashion,
legacy
we got to
tokens
get some
tonight.
stuff working. Let me look over here in the control panel real
As
quick.
soon as I can
Okay, yeah.
get the legacy tokens working.
We'll make it happen. I don't know. Is anybody hearing anything echo?
Well, there, we should be good now. I'm trying to get legacy tokens working.
But in true UNN fashion, we should be all right. Actually, there we go. Is that better? I'm not really 100% sure what was going on there.
Because I'm posting on Twitter.
Like that, we're trying something new tonight. And some of our settings are a little different. But that should have fixed everything. Okay, it did fix everything. Hey, Sarah's on. Wait, Sarah's on, but she's not called up.
She's supporting us.
No, I know. I just don't want to.
You better stop.
I just don't want to screw it up for her. Is all.
Well, in her opinion, it's already been screwed up because that's why she quit watching to begin with. Somebody spoiled it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. It's all good. Yeah, there was something
It's
going
weird.
on.
I heard Lonnie like 3 times.
I found out what it was. We fixed it. I promise we fixed it. So, just something in our settings that I had to fix. But yeah, this episode was called Mercy, and like I said, I didn't care for this episode overall. I'm actually kind of worried about this season because last season was such a build up and everything, and I'll be quite honest. The 10-issue all-out war story arc that happened in the Walking Dead comics was freaking amazing, and it was one of those that just had me waiting every single month for the new issue, and so far this, I don't know if it's quite living up to it. As far as the TV show is concerned, I mean, not gonna be wrong. Like, The Walking Dead's my favorite show on TV, but I feel like this was kind of like a misstep at the beginning of the season. It didn't really get me too excited for the season. There were a handful of things, like I said, towards the end. Father Gabriel ends up in the trailer with
that made me
Negan.
so sad.
Some,
Let me explain why that upset me so bad. Is because literally like 30 seconds to a minute before he got left, I was thinking, wow, I'm really impressed with how well his character has developed. And then he pulled that dumbass move trying to save that man that was trying to screw them all, and that man left him there, and I was like, son of a
I mean,
bitch.
you understand why he did it, though.
Why? Who did what?
Why Gabriel went after him, because he
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
he
he's
wouldn't have been able.
still
Yeah, he still got that deep down.
compelled.
Yeah,
so to speak.
compassion.
Yeah.
Towards people who, even those who
He's
screw
still
him
wearing
over.
his collar,
Yeah.
and I get it, but at the same time, I was like, he is not as developed as I thought he was.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, he left. You remember that's how his whole story arc ended or began.
True.
Was he had people who needed help, he abandoned, and he wasn't going to do that again because it would have just started the torture and the pain right over again. So while I think he made a horrible decision, I completely understand why he did it.
I can understand too. That doesn't make it less of a stupid decision.
There we go. I had to recenter that a little bit. We will be drawing a name for the Walking Dead Katana letter opener a little bit later in the episode. This is the first ever live Spoiling Dead. This is the 100th episode. 100th episode of The Walking Dead that we're reviewing. This is the first time we've ever done it live.
There was all kinds of hashtags on Twitter that was like 100 Dead, The Walking Dead.
100 Dead.
100 Dead.
This episode, like, one of the things, we are taking comments and questions and stuff in the chat. This episode, I'm kind of confused.
Right.
By I'm just going to go with it as being flash forwards that are showing what I believe is the future. I think that they're going to continue showing these throughout the season and either at the end of the first half or the end of the total season, it's gonna come full circle. I really think that what they're showing right now is the future, because anybody who knows anything, even if you don't read the comics, you know Rick and the crew are gonna win eventually.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean,
unless you read the comics, you don't know that.
I mean,
if you legitly don't read the comics, you don't know that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when I was reading the comics, I was reading this story as it happened. You know, it wasn't. I didn't like wait till a bunch of them came out, then read them all. I was reading these as they came out, and it never a doubt in my mind that Rick.
Well, it's good that you have confidence in your heroes, but you really don't know.
Like, what kind of story would it be if Negan and them won?
It'd probably be really shitty, but I mean, it could turn out that way.
You could actually see The Walking Dead doing that.
Yeah.
And they have been known to do some really weird stuff in regards to the story. Mm-hmm. And just because the comic ended one way doesn't mean the TV show's going to.
Right.
But there is some very interesting, very fun stuff that happens in the comics. Right now, the comic, or the TV show, is at the comic book equivalent of number 115. Mm-hmm. Right now, issue 172 just came out. So that's how far ahead the comic is. And if I'm not mistaken, All Out War went from 115 to 124. It was a 10-issue series. And then 125, I believe, was the jumping ahead point. So after All Out War, which is what this season is adapting, the comic book from the end of that to the next issue jumped about 3 years. And that is what I think they are showing. Mm-hmm. Is you're going to see all these flash forwards of the short-haired, long, white-beard Rick and all this new life that they've made after the war. And, you know, Judith was, what, like 2 or 3, you could tell. And you're going to see, you know, you're seeing all this, and you're going to see a little bit more and a little bit more as the season progresses. And then at the end of the season, where the first scene with him waking up, mm-hmm. it's going to end with that, I think. Him waking up. And then you'll have a pretty good idea of, you know, what's happened and everything. But they're kind of presenting it right now as they don't want you to really know that it's the future. Mm-hmm. They're kind of showing it as like weird daydreams or something.
Yeah, because it's like I said during the episode, he's in his crazy state of mind right now.
Yeah. I'm going to have to turn the sound up because I don't know if your voice is coming through good enough. Yeah, he is. And he's already chased off one guy, mm-hmm. you know, that they were thinking was, you know, maybe wanting help or whatever. But Rick's like, no, he could be a spy. He could be whatever. And Carl went out later and left the guy food, and the guy was watching.
Right.
And, you know, that's not the first time we've seen Rick run people off.
Right.
Whenever, who was it? Tyrese mm-hmm. and Sasha and, you know, they had a couple other people. Whenever their little group showed up at the prison, Rick had really lost it. Like, worse than he ever has and ever did. And, you know, he was like seeing his dead wife walk around. He was talking to people who weren't there on the phone. Mm-hmm. He was like doing all kinds of neat stuff. And it was like, it got to the point where like he was screaming at everybody, or he was screaming at his dead wife, but they thought he was screaming at them. And they were, he didn't trust anybody. And he's back to that. Mm-hmm. But now he has a really solid community, I think, that is kind of trying to keep him grounded.
Yeah, they're really aware of how he can be, and so they're working hard to keep him focused.
Gabriel was doing a pretty good job of that because Rick mm-hmm. saw Negan after they had started their little battle. Negan was down on the ground, hiding behind some sheet metal. Rick was just shooting. Oh God, we got to kill him. And you know, Gabriel pulled him away and was like, "Look, we got to go. We got to stick to the plan. This is bigger than you, basically." And so he left, and then Gabriel stopped, broke the plan. It never works to break the plan.
No,
of The
it
Walking
never
Dead.
works to break the plan of Walking Dead.
But during this little plan that they have going on, they basically go up to a sanctuary and shoot bullets in the air. And when they do, Negan and all of his top people come walking out. And, you know, they sit there and, like, they yell at each other and all that good stuff. But, you know, we were thinking, I mean, I know story progression, blah, blah, blah. But if I was Rick right at that moment, I wouldn't have even given Negan the opportunity to speak. I would have put a bullet. I mean, now I love the character of Negan, but if I was in Rick's shoes, and of course, you know, you've seen Negan kill all your friends. If I was there, if I was at war with somebody and I'm at their front door and they come walking out all high and mighty with their top people, I'm just gonna spray the hell out of that porch with machine gun fire, and everybody up there is gonna die. I don't care if Eugene gets hit. I don't care if that other dude gets hit. I don't care. So everybody's gonna die, because at this point, I really think that the way the saviors are is everybody's scared. Nobody wants to be the one to go up against Negan, because they know if they do and they fail, they're screwed. But I really think that if somebody were to just put a knife into the back of Negan's head and kill him, that the people who run the saviors would be right in there with Rick quicker than anything.
It'd be like when Dorothy killed the Wicked Witch of the West. And the soldiers were like, "Hell yeah,
she's dead.
Yes.
You killed her.
Please take her room and go." Like, that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of funny. But this...
Here, take Lucille.
we get to see all kinds of neat kills. Negan's group, you know, we know we have Dwight on the inside of the Saviors, and he's working with Daryl, and they're shooting these arrows back and forth with messages, and Dwight tells him all the locations of, like, these little outposts that one or two people are manning, and they go through. Yep, they kill one at a time, and it was funny because before I caught on to what was going on, and they showed the first guy on the tree stand, I thought that he had shot himself, like,
did you?
Like committed suicide, and then fell, and I was like, God, why are people just losing hope? So I was like, okay, so, but yeah, and then I quickly caught on, you know, as to what was going on, but. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. You know, they're picking off all these people one at a time. And, of course, Gregory. Good old Gregory. Freaking idiot.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, I cannot stand that guy. And the bad thing is, I mean, kind of soft spoiler alert for the comics. In the comic, he's still alive. Wait, no, he isn't. He's not still alive. They do get rid of him eventually. But he lasts through the war.
He'd be up there right up there with Negan, right behind him.
Anyway, give your thoughts. I need to look something up real quick.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
About what? This?
Everything. We're here to talk about it.
I mean, I've been conversing with you. I mean, what else do you want me to say? I do not carry this thing by myself.
If I'm remembering... Let's see.
Were you fact checking?
Okay,
yourself?
No, I'm fact checking my claims as to what happened to Gregory in the comic.
That's why I said you're fact checking yourself.
Yeah, and I was right. He does die. Let's just say he tries to screw somebody over again, and they hang him.
Oh, okay. Let's just say
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else as to the details of the story, but yeah, he ends up hanging from a tree. He's actually the first case of capital punishment in the post-war era.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they swear they're never going to kill anybody else, and they're like, oh, we got to kill him.
And they should have killed him to begin with. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and
Hell.
actually, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, like from the comic.
I mean, he's been a piece of shit from day one.
Yeah,
I'll just say
he has, and like if you want to go back, it's almost to this point. There are a lot of things that coincide between the comic book and the TV show, but there are a lot of things that are different. And case in point, like without spoiling the comic too much, the comic book, the twist where he pops up with Negan and tries to tell everybody to stand down, it had a bit more of an impact in the comic books.
did it?
Yeah, I mean, some people actually stood down, and it really screwed up their offensive to begin with, and they had to go back to square one.
Well, I like this one better. People standing up against him. I mean,
well, yeah, but I don't think it's
really
realistic.
nothing. Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is, because I think people would. Well, no, you're right, because
very realistic.
everybody knew the kind of tyranny that they lived under Negan. Mm-hmm. You know, they had people showing up, burning their houses down and stuff, and people, they just got tired of it. Completely tired of it.
Not to mention, he's a little piece of shit, scrawny little bastard. I mean, like they couldn't take him anyway. What is it? Oh, y'all need to go back home. Fuck you. No, we don't need to go back home.
Do you like, though, how Jesus said that they stand with Maggie?
Mm-hmm. That was
and
great.
God, I feel like me saying "spoiler alert" for the comics is gonna be like my catchphrase this
yeah, because I don't understand why you're even saying it, because the show obviously spoils the comics if they've not read them.
Yeah, but this is some stuff that happens later. Obviously, you can see it.
Okay, but anybody that reads the comics probably caught up.
You could see it coming from a mile away, but Maggie in the comics does eventually become the leader of the Hilltop. And you could see that from almost the time they stepped foot at the place for the first time. She was already kind of being groomed for that. Mm-hmm. And you also, has 3 weeks or 4 weeks passed since the beginning of season 7? Because she is not showing at all.
I was talking with a friend, and they were like, "Where's her baby bump?" And I was like, "That is a good question."
It's like Rick runs into Maggie during one of those flash forwards, mm-hmm. and she's still pregnant, 3 years later.
Oh, like on Family Guy.
Yeah, Bonnie.
Yes.
Yeah, Bonnie, she's Maggie.
Pregnant for 6 years.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, when are you finally gonna have that baby?" That was the running joke. That seriously is Maggie.
It is.
Wow. But no, this, this was a good episode. I guess the more I think about it, the better it gets. But just, and I will admit, we were watching it on Sling TV, and, I want to talk a little bit about the viewing experience. We were kind of having issues there. I think, number one, we had sound issues. And turns out we downloaded Elgato, the Elgato game capture, and for whatever reason, it makes the sound capture, mm-hmm. What Elgato uses to capture sound, mm-hmm. it makes it the default sound app, and you can't get away from it. You'll swap to something else. It's nope, you're using Elgato. And I was legitimately getting angry, to the point where I'm screw it. But I looked around online and come to find out all you had to do was go into Elgato, the game capture software, and there's actually a little check mark that says make it the default app.
Uncheck it.
And I unchecked it, and that fixed the whole thing, and we were able to not have to watch it on the really low volume laptop anymore, and we hooked it up to the TV, and we were able to watch it in all its glory, and it made it a lot better. But also, there were connection issues, and this was not on our end. EPB was doing its job tonight, as always. I would like some sponsorship from them, because I kissed their butt. But
anyway.
But for real, the internet connection held up great. But on Sling, I guess since you're watching TV through an internet-based application, which is totally legit, Sling TV is like a really good service, come to find out. I'm almost betting that traffic was so high for the Walking Dead premiere that it probably caused it to kind of fizzle
The
out.
Walking Dead, I know the
It actually
Patriots
said
were playing
Dish
tonight,
Network error.
and like there's a bunch of different like major events going on tonight other than Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, there's.
So I couldn't imagine the traffic on there. Period. Generally.
Yeah, there were a lot of different movie premiere or TV premieres, NFL games, like the whole 9 yards. But this, here's the thing. I've seen worse premieres.
Oh yeah.
On The Walking Dead, but that might be like another little list, like The Walking Dead season premieres ranked from number 1 to number 8.
I don't know.
That might be an interesting little video at some point.
I guess I like it regardless.
Like this episode wasn't as good as like the Terminus episode.
Well, no.
Or the introduction of Negan. But it was...
Don't be ridiculous.
I would say this one's probably going to hover around number 5 out of 8. Because you got the pilot, you got the Terminus episode, you have the introduction of Negan. What's the episode? Let's see. Like, I wasn't really a big fan of season 2's premiere, except for the ending where Carl got shot in the stomach. Season 3 was where they found the prison. It was pretty decent, but not knock it out of the park awesome.
I mean, it's rare that the beginning of a season is knock it out of the park awesome anyway.
It's happened 3 times.
Out
of 8.
Out of 8 seasons, that's not even half.
Yeah, but in
saying.
baseball, 300 is awesome.
This is not baseball. It's Walking Dead. I'm saying for shows in general, it's unless you got this like huge cliffhanger that needs to be resolved.
I
don't know if it's not working or what. I was gonna try and bet some and see what's happening.
Apparently our legacy stuff isn't working. If that's the case, then super de duper.
Yeah, it's not letting me do anything, I don't reckon.
Oh, okay, hold on. Dun dun dun. Okay, now try it. We'll see what happens. I want everybody to get their legacy tokens tonight. And you know what? Just to make it there we go. Just to make it a big thing, I'm going to, because everybody, we've already made it, like God knows how far through here.
It's like 10:40, so.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here real quick. And we're going to fix some stuff. We are actually going to give away, to make up for everybody, we're going to give away 40 every 10 minutes.
There we go.
So we're making it up to everybody. There we go. So if you're watching, 40. If you're a new subscriber, we're going to give a big bonus to new subscribers tonight. So if you're on the fence about hitting that red subscribe button, hit it. And then you'll be eligible for our monthly Loot Crate giveaways and whatever other neat stuff that we do. Yeah, I mean we're putting our money where our mouth is. So let's see. Any further thoughts before we? Like, I don't want to milk this as much as we can. I just want to say what we got to say, and then we'll draw, and then we'll be good. But I would like to go at least another little bit to where we can do.
So what do you think is going to happen next episode?
Next episode. Oh, I want to know first what grade you give this, 1 to 10.
Oh, what grade? Probably an 8.
Well, that ain't far off from what I gave. For whatever reason, Jubilee's giving me a weird look.
Because Juba. Well,
Like,
let's be fair. You graded it before you even started reviewing it. And then once you reviewed it, you're like, actually, this episode's better. So really, you should probably give it an 8. I'm just saying.
like there's Jubilee sitting on my coat.
Giving you the death stare.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm not really sure what the deal with that is, but... Oh, well.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, 8's pretty good. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. The fact that Rick trusts no one. The really weird opening. Like I said, that the whole deal with Rick with the short hair and the big white beard, that is what he looks like in the comics after the war's over.
Still weird to see. I don't know.
Unless
Unless you read the comics, you really don't know what's going on there. You think he's like lost his mind or something.
He looks way different, and some people may not even like that. No, I'll be right back.
Sarah says, she says, feed me.
Tell her she needs to quit.
Never. I will never tell her to stop.
Like, I'm gonna pull up and like show you what Rick looks like beforehand. I'll see if I can show everybody to the I'll show it to everybody too in the actual chat. Okay, so anyway. Well, come on. Okay, so that's what Rick looks like now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar.
And then old Rick. I mean, seriously. Old Rick.
Just makes me think of old Logan.
I mean, people were calling him Old Man Rick. That's Rick in the future. So, if anybody, wonders, let's see if I can get that. That right there, that right there is Rick, before the war, or during the war. And then, this dude right here is Rick after the war. So, and that's The Walking Dead Compendium 3, which is freaking amazing. Those things are well worth the price. You could probably get all 3 of them, which equals about 150 issues of Walking Dead. You can probably get all of them for just over $100. That is a dang good deal. The only thing
a lot of those at Amazon.
Huh?
I shipped a ton of those at Amazon.
Yeah. You probably shipped mine.
Probably did.
The only thing that I don't like about the compendiums is the fact that the letters pages are not in the compendiums. And believe it or not, hearing or reading Robert Kirkman and his crew talk to, letter writers, fans in there, some really good insight has come out of it. There was the rumor going around that The Walking Dead was originally supposed to be the result of aliens.
Huh.
And that rumor has persisted so much that I actually read an article about it a few days ago on one of the comic book websites. But really what happened is Image, because it was a zombie comic and it was untried and zombies weren't really a thing at that point. Remember, this was 2003.
Right.
And they didn't catch on like they have already. I think maybe 28 Days Later had just come out. And it was kind of starting to pick up steam, but nobody knew if the bubble was going to burst quickly or if it was going to ride a wave. And he pitched, Walking Dead comics typically go in 6-issue arcs because the trade paperbacks come out 6 issues apiece. So he tries to make them self-contained stories. And so he goes to Image and says, they're like, hey, we'll give you 6 issues, see how it sells, and then we'll continue. And they said, well, what's the deal? He said, well, it's a zombie thing, and then eventually it's going to be revealed that it was aliens that did it, and blah, blah, blah. And he told them that because he didn't think just a zombie drama would get the green light. Right. And so he told them, aliens. Lied. He did. He lied to them and said, aliens.
Aliens.
And they were like, cool. And so he said that they made it through the first 6 issues. It started selling. Just boom, boom. got really big and everything. And about issue 12 or 13, one of the editors or something was reading it, and he was like, "Hey, when are you gonna start talking about the aliens?" And he was like, "No, it ain't happening." And by that point, they couldn't cancel it because it was already outselling everything else that they had there. And so he pretty much had them by the balls and was like, "Nope, no aliens."
That's pretty amazing.
That was a ruse. That's neat. But yeah, the rumor still persists that somewhere down the line they're going to reveal that it was aliens. There's also that big fan theory that Robert Kirkman has swore against, that the series is going to end with Rick waking up in the hospital and this was all one big dream.
Oh God, I hope not.
And if that happened, I would be so mad. But there's also a rumor going around that it's going to end with Old Man Carl. That the entire Walking Dead series is Carl telling his grandkids about it. And that's why it paints Rick in such a spotlight, is because he's reminiscing about his dad.
I can dig that.
Yeah. And, of course, Carl is quite a bit. And if you noticed, a lot of the stuff that focuses on Carl is a lot more detailed.
Yeah.
So.
But also, he's a kid, and so there's lots of room to develop there.
Yeah.
So.
And, Carl has really, like, if you don't think Carl has developed, watch, like, last season, and then go back and watch, like, his first 2 episodes. Or, the episode where he thought Rick was dead, and he went out by himself in that neighborhood, and realized that he couldn't stay on his own, and he went back and was, like, crying, thinking Rick was a zombie, and one of the best episodes of the series.
That was a really good one.
It really was. I'm actually, God, I keep wanting to make all these, like, top lists and stuff. Like, I've got
You're a list person, I know.
I've got this one, like, super idea where I just take every single episode and list them in order to see, like, my favorite one ever, which that would be a task in itself.
More power to you, honey.
Probably my favorite episode ever would be the season 7 premiere. Because, the season 6 finale was really great. But, like, it was like the last 15 minutes. Everything leading up to that was just filler.
I know. You were just like, that's all bullshit. I know.
Oh, yeah, because you were sitting there with me when we watched it. And when they do, like, the cliffhanger where they don't even show you who Negan killed, I was like, mother...
You were really upset.
Because there were rumors going around that was going to happen. I was like, they wouldn't do that to the fans.
Oh, yeah, they would do that to the fans.
Longest summer of all time was the summer of 2015. That sucked. Just saying. That did. The summer of 2015 was the most speculation I've ever done online as to what's going to happen and everything.
Wow.
Anyway, I tell you what. Does everybody want to see a drawing?
Yeah.
Because we are getting pretty close to the end.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay on here just to stay on here.
Yeah, we're done. We need to draw.
Jubilee, come over here and help me draw.
She's looking at you like you lost your mind.
Yeah, man. I want one of those little, like, lottery machines that...
You're ridiculous right now.
You like has a little fan up under here and just tosses them around. And then finally it pops one up. Okay. We're going to draw. These are all of our entries. For some of these are actually Loot Crate entries that... Carried over. Now here's the thing. This actually kind of sucks because there were some people who voted that they wanted just the Loot Crate. And so I'm really hoping that one of those doesn't win because something happened with our application and it screwed it up to where I couldn't tell who wanted what, so I had to put everybody in for everything. So, anyway, I'm going to cover it up, reach in there and get one.
Trying to make sure I just got one. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Okay, now I do.
What do you got? Who won?
Jennifer Ellison.
Jennifer Ellison was on
It says Google.
Google. Okay, so she entered through our application. So Jennifer Ellison, you will be getting an email from us. Big announcement, and I'm sure your name will be going in our little newsletter.
Yay!
And we will be shipping this to you towards the end of the month around Halloween. So,
Whoop, whoop.
hurrah! Which will actually be in about 9 days. So congratulations to Jennifer Ellison, who wins our Walking Dead, Spoiling Dead number 100 review giveaway. And,
I just rewarded everybody 100 for our 100th episode.
yes! Excellent. Everybody in the chat gets 100 legacy tokens. And we've actually got 4 people in here now. But we're going to go ahead and wrap. If you want to see our full review, this is going to archive here in the next little bit. Just hop on there, check it out, and that'll be it. Any final thoughts on the episode? Anything? Look for us.
No, I think we covered everything.
Oh, yeah. Look for us next weekend. We will be doing these every single week. It'll be about 10 o'clock, right after The Walking Dead goes off, like the minute The Walking Dead goes off. And we'll be on here live. We will be taking, we will be giving double legacy tokens. We'll be doing like little prizes and stuff for, everybody that pops on and says, hey, if you stick around with us towards the end on the live show, we'll be giving a bonus for those right before we go off the air. I like that. 100 legacy tokens, and kind of gives everybody like a loyalty bonus. Like, you stuck with us through this whole episode, or you came on at the end, you get a bonus. So I'm really big on that. So anyway, hey, say bye, Jubilee.
She turned her head.
She did. She turned directly away from me. But anyway, I hope everybody has a good night. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it. It wasn't one of my favorites, but like I said, a crappy Walking Dead episode is still better than a lot of other stuff. Because we've been really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a good season. This, in my opinion, this episode didn't do a great job of getting me geared up for it, but there was still a lot of good stuff that happened. Mm-hmm. And so it was just, maybe there wasn't enough Tiger for me. Maybe I was just, because they did show her. She was like sitting over there just kind of hanging out.
During the big,
on the back of the truck.
Yeah, big meeting they were having before they started doing anything.
Yeah. But I do think we have some big stuff coming up this season. There's going to be a lot of moments from the comic book. And season 7 was proof positive that they can add stuff, but still do a great job at carrying stuff over. Because I didn't think they were going to do the episode with Carl, going to Sanctuary with Negan and having that whole exchange. Uh-huh. And they did it, and it did not disappoint. Probably the best episode of the whole season. That was
a really good episode.
But yeah, check us out next week at 10 o'clock p.m. And we're going to be doing stuff. We still have to do our Orville review from Thursday night. We'll probably end up doing it tomorrow night. We're going to have game streams. Going to be playing Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, Skyrim. Going to be playing other games on the Xbox 360 and regular Xbox. Just stuff all over the place. And, we're just pumping out content left and right. And we really appreciate everybody coming on, checking us out, subscribing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, enter to win our contest. We have more stuff than we can even name here. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Hope you enjoyed our review. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. This has been the 100th episode spectacular of the Walking Dead episode Mercy. This has been Spoiling Dead number 100 for the Season 8 premiere of The Walking Dead. Check out our video description for our contest link, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.